Hello. What's good, people? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, my people? How y'all
What's
doing?
going on? What's going on,
This
Coach?
beautiful Monday. This beautiful Monday afternoon. Buttons upon buttons upon buttons upon buttons. Well, how y'all doing?
Hey, it's Victory Monday.
Hey, Victory Monday. Victory Monday.
I need the Rome Taylor removed from the room.
What?
This is who we talking about. You know, Astros, baby. We talking about Orioles, dog.
Somebody already got thrown out the club. I see.
Right.
I seen that.
Damn.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Wow.
Who got him out of here? Roquan?
Right. Roquan got him out the room. Put him. What do you say? We're gonna beat them in front of their wives and their kids. We had to get them up out there. But hey, Victory Monday. So
yes, sir.
Got my shotty.
I'm prepared.
Got my shotty. Got my Chris. Darn it, Chris. Chris, I'm never had right.
I'm prepared this week. Look,
Chris don't
I
never
got you,
follow
Chris.
what the teacher said.
I go run and get it.
Chris don't never do what the teacher said.
for them that don't know, this is a 1-in-1 first edition out of meet and greet shot glass. You can get you one of these. You can get you one of these. Holler at me and B.
Yep.
You can get you one of these. Oh, it goes.
All us.
Yeah.
Hey,
if you missed the meet and greet,
hit the DMs.
Yeah, you know,
hit the DMs.
You'll get another opportunity next year.
Hit the DMs if you want one. Well, I like the way that faded me out. Okay, camera acting right. Nice. Bring me back in. Oh, all right.
That's the slick stuff.
You got the Scorsese camera.
Let's go.
He got that. That's that Suge camera. Suge camera.
Right.
Be following around and shit.
What? Suge high level like that?
Yeah.
High level. Appreciate you, fellas. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, I just hit timeout. I ain't know it was gonna ban. I thought you just time them out for a minute.
It's two of us. It's the timeout one and it's the timeout and ban.
Well, I just hit whatever Streamlabs said.
Man, nothing of value was lost, right? We can
the universe makes no mistakes.
Everybody know what the deal is.
It was like that part in the first Spider-Man movie where the vulture disintegrates that guy. He's like, I thought that was an anti-gravity gun.
Yeah, my bad. I mean, it is what it is, though, bro. You know, come on, some hurry up. Like who? Well, no, I'm gonna be calm.
He ain't pay no bills. He ain't pay no bills.
This ain't Israel. We do it on our time.
I mean, if you drop like a $50 dono, you could say hurry up, but you just came in here with some drama, so it is what it is. Good riddance. What up, Hendo?
I think it means that we're growing, because it just seems like the last couple weeks, haters are just coming from here and there and just thinking that they can come in and say whatever they want to. So I just think it means we grow.
Yeah. They ain't got no home training.
No,
that's what it means. Ain't no home training.
The new generation.
That's what it is. Yeah, we too old for that. We too old.
Free Palestine. I don't know what he's talking about.
Right. Hey, so how was y'all weekend, fellas? How was y'all weekend?
Good. Long but good.
Long?
Yeah, man.
How many days you had off?
Listen, man. Every other weekend that's my long weekend, man. Got all the kids. Got to do a lot of driving around, and we had a Canelo fight to cover. So
I
very
tried.
little sleep. Very little sleep.
Oh, you mean long? And okay, when you said long, I thought you meant
Long,
like you get
bad.
extra days off.
Not bad. Long as in just
Long as it was
no
busy.
sleep. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
Long
I got
bad.
you. I misinterpreted that. I watched like the first 2 rounds, and it was a snooze fest for me because all I saw was a guy running.
That's how you.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
It ain't much change after that, coach.
No.
You pretty much saw the fight.
Yeah, that was it. That was the fight.
I saw a guy running, trying to survive. Even I did see that Bud even said something about it. Like, bro, you just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's out of character for Charlo, for Jamel Charlo.
His fight with Caleb Plant backstage was more entertaining.
that was Jamal. That was the other brother.
That was the other brother. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
that whole ruckus was more entertaining though.
Yeah, it was.
It is what it is. But hey, let's get on into what was entertaining for me Saturday?
What that is?
The effort that Colorado put up versus USC.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about what happened at the end there? How they just wasted like 2 minutes off the clock?
You know what? What I will say is I like the way Shador took responsibility for it, even though I don't think it was his fault. He went to the press conference and said that was me. I checked into some runs, even though I don't think he did. He might have. I just don't think he did.
I don't have a problem with the runs. I have a problem with the lack of urgency after the run. Like I understood the runs, right? Like they haven't been able to protect Shador. You don't want to make it too easy on them, so you change it up with some runs. I get that, but after the run, they just kind of like, okay, guys, huddle it up. What's the play, guys? Like, no. You gotta keep it moving.
Yeah, they did do that. I agree,
but I do love the overall
lack of urgency. You're right.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that they used their timeouts to get back in the game, because there was no sense of holding on to them if you wasn't even in the game. They needed their timeouts at crucial situations. So I like the fact that they used them all to get back in. So I was cool with them using them. Like, what's the use of having 3 timeouts and you're down 14?
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm very happy with Shador Sanders' performance. I think it's not hype with him. I think he's a real deal. And that number 14 wide receiver,
freshman.
They studied finding playmakers.
Found another one.
They could not stop him. Granted, USC isn't the best defense in the world from what I hear, but still.
I don't know if I said it on here or not, but I said that they would score on USC. I knew they couldn't score on Oregon because Oregon's defense was better, but I knew they would score on USC, but I didn't think they would score that many because I knew USC's defense was way better than Oregon. I mean, offense was way better than Oregon's, but I didn't think it would be that close. They found something. They found something.
Yeah.
Had they had any answer early in the game, they might have won.
Yeah.
They might have won. If Travis would have played and they could have took away one receiver early, maybe Rice early, they might have won that game. Maybe.
Yep. That first half did them in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go down that much, but despite going down that big, that's a hell of a job by the players and Dion and their coaching staff to get them locked into that game and fight back because, a bunch of dudes who are quote unquote prima donnas and so full of themselves, you see teams like that usually pack it in. And, those are usually the front runners. There was no front running going on there. They were down big. They could have been like, oh, this is going to be like last week against Oregon. And they didn't do that. They came back and they battled their tails off. So props to them, man.
Yeah.
Right. So now they got winnable games now. Go ahead, Mike.
he get his dogs there, man. It's over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so get that man, what they're doing. I think we spoke about this last week or sometime. But get that man some time. What they're doing already now is already far exceeding what their expectation was. Let's not forget. You can go Google it. You can go look it up. all the national pundits, all the so-called experts had them as the worst roster in football, college football.
Sure
Right? So, I see some people saying, "Oh, all the hype, whatever." No, the hype is warranted. What he's doing, beating a ranked team already, going down to the wire with one of the best team, championship contender, fighting back like they did last week. They on the right path. They on the right path. No sleep.
Facts. You know who got all the hype is not performing? Matt Rule.
Good.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let me hit this poll real quick.
But before the draft stuff starts too with Shador, I guarantee you they're gonna talk about him being a runner. And he is not a runner.
He's not a runner.
He's not a runner. But that I already know it. They're gonna say he's a runner. They're gonna say he's an athlete and he can throw in the pocket. No, he's a quarterback who can run the ball.
He actually looked uncomfortable running.
He did.
He's like, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of young Aaron Rodgers, where Aaron Rodgers could get out the pocket and move. More athletic than Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers could move when he was younger.
Yep.
Yes,
But you would never say that Aaron Rodgers was a running quarterback. And I wouldn't say Shador's a running quarterback.
True.
He's a quarterback who can run.
Yep.
Big difference.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same dog whistles for black quarterbacks. One read quarterback. Run first. He's good. If you can get him out the pocket, he's good on the move. The same tropes that they use for black quarterbacks.
So you mean like Stephen A. and Dwayne Haskins?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, that throw, I don't know which touchdown it was. I don't know how many touchdowns 14 had, but it was a touchdown he threw to 14. There was no space to throw the ball.
None.
There was zero space to throw the ball, and he fit the ball in a pea hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 14 caught it. So that was, we have to get to it. I know me and Chris definitely get into it when draft stuff started. And I already started getting some draft stuff, Chris. I don't know if you checked the honey hole yet.
I got 2013 stuff on Friday. So 2013.
Me too. I got notes. I got notes on that was it on the quarterback from Florida State that I started doing.
Jordan Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Dion said that Shador's coming back next year.
I know. He said neither one of them leave.
He'll
It's
be
really fandom. Not everything's about race, but this is about race.
Mm-hmm. Who said what now?
I'm not even listening to him. But I think if he comes back next year, he's going to be the number one pick.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's why Dion said he wanted to come back because he wanted to.
Is my man circumventing a ban right now? We allowing that?
No, I did. See, I didn't do ban. I did timeout.
I thought he said ban. That's why he changed his name.
Right.
I thought he said peace, PIECE earlier before. So
he did.
Yeah,
He did.
I saw that. Yeah.
So
Somebody corrected him in there.
peace out.
Yeah.
He just being nice. Ice is thin around here.
Unprofessional and sensitive. Okay.
Ice is thin.
I am very unprofessional.
Just saying that B.
I saw it when it was typed. I ignored it, but I saw it when it was typed.
We did good, man. We doing real good.
I ignored. I saw it. I got hitters in. I got hitters in the what's called now.
T Sizzle in there. He in there. You know what I'm saying? They handle it. They ain't.
I started talking college football. I zoned out for a minute. I didn't see any of that. What?
Yeah, I saw it. I'm gonna let him live for a second. But just know my Call of Duty aim is got better lately. So my sniper.
I don't think somebody who's not paying us is allowed to call us unprofessional.
I know.
Sorry, man.
I'm a baseball player. How many strikes you get in baseball?
Tree.
Okay, and they own two. That hard slider coming soon. Hard slider coming soon.
Throw him a knuckleball.
Come on, knuckle curve.
For Tim Wakefield, rest in peace.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get to the business at hand. Old Ravens. So we'll start with the defensive side. The defensive side, like we've been doing this season. Let's start with the DBs. Brandon Stevens and crew and Kyle Hamilton and all those guys. I think they played decent, but not decent. Let's say they played good. We had 3 interceptions. Brandon Stevens got an interception. Kyle got his first interception, and Geno Stone got another interception. To be against Dorian Thompson-Robinson made it easier. Mm-hmm. I personally think had it been Deshaun Watson, the result would have been similar, maybe a little harder, but I think it would have been similar. That's just how good our defense has been playing. What do you guys think?
Well, full disclosure for me, I caught the game a little bit on the radio, then a little bit before half, and then the second half on the radio again. I told you I was all over the place. But look, man, like, 3 interceptions. I mean, it helped him to 3 points. Now, granted, like, yeah, you have a first time quarterback starting, and he didn't look great, but they did what they needed to do. I think they played fine. Even you could say, yeah, it was less of competition, but you still got to perform,
right?
So I give them all the credit in the world for how they played, and my man Stevens got his first interception. I thought he was gonna Hulk up afterwards, but
he did an IG live today, so
yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he feeling himself. But and for his defense, what's good about him is Amari Cooper had 1 catch.
Yes,
and he was the primary defender on Amari Cooper. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 1 catch. I mean, I say it okay, but that's still, that's you can put that on your resume. Yeah, I held Amari Cooper to 1 catch. You can put that gonna look good on your resume.
Yeah, I give him credit. Look, man, B. Stevens is playing well, and we were highly critical of him, man, because rightfully so, right? He hadn't shown much up until this year, so he's playing well. I think the D-backs played well. Kyle Hamilton seems to still be playing well. The one play that really stuck out to me with Kyle Hamilton, towards the end of the game when he hawked dude down running down the sideline, and the angle he took to catch him before he scored at the end, and then to stop them from scoring, and then he ended up getting the interception later on. But he seems to be playing well. I mean, Arthur Millette played well. So I don't know what his injury situation is going forward, but he looked all right. So they are severely depleted because I think Worley got hurt.
Yeah.
Rock looked all right. You know what I mean? So like, I think, man, they are playing really, really good as a group. And like I said, we were shook about that. I do agree with you though, Coach. I think it would have been similar to the same outcome. I think the defense is just, they playing well. Deshaun played better last week, but it wasn't great. So I think we still would have gave him issue. And I think they still would have came out with the win. I went into this game more afraid of the defense than anything. I think that's the most impressive part about this win. Yeah, we played a backup quarterback, but that defense was healthy. They were all there. So for them they did against that defense, I was happy about that. But yes, the D-backs to me, they playing well, playing out of their mind actually.
Yeah. I'll say that the defense played pretty well. I give him credit. And Coach, you brought me to the other side. You can only play who's in front of you. And yes, DTR was horrid, but they played well. And I want to give credit to Arthur Millette, because Arthur Millette is the reason that Brandon Stevens got that first interception, because he came off his man and tipped the ball. They did what they needed to do. I think Kyle Hamilton is making plays all over the field, not just in blitz game. So I give him credit. The only downside that I have is the fact that Jalen Armour-Davis got hurt putting on his helmet. That's the only thing. Out for 6 weeks.
I think that
what's JAD's injury?
Hamstring.
Hey,
he was putting it on too fast and leaned forward and something popped.
I think for me, the defense, played well as a whole outside of one particular group. I said happy for Brandon Stevens. I think that if they leave him alone and just let him develop, he'll be pretty decent for y'all. And I don't care that they were playing Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Nick Chubb was out. Y'all were playing a backup quarterback and running back last week and lost. So, it's good to go out there and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. Like Mikey was saying when he started it off, it was looking grim, at the beginning of the season with this group. and they just added on more injuries, and they've been able to hold up throughout this time. And yeah, granted they're playing backup quarterbacks, but like Rodney just said, or Brody, if that's what you call him. No, like B said, you know, it's you can lose any given Sunday. You know, we just saw that last week. So you got to put up, and if they're backups, make them look like backups, and that's what they did yesterday. So, you know, hats off to the DB group and Mike McDonald, because I feel like if there was another DC here who's coaching tonight, they would not look like this.
Right.
I agree.
Goodness.
I agree, Chris.
And speaking of that, Chris, if what you just said would have been there, Dorian Thompson-Robinson would have got off, because they'd have been in man, and his speed he'd have had 150 yards rushing, because he'd have went through he'd have went read 1 not open, read 2 not open, and he would have ran, and he'd have been able to get off running, because they'd have been chasing receivers down the field.
Yeah, I think this whole season is different if that guy is our DC this year.
Yep,
I agree.
You mean future head coach? That's what they're saying.
Future ESPN analyst.
he'll be right next to Rex Ryan soon.
I'm talking about Mike McDonald.
Oh, you talking about Mike?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, they saying he's the head coach in waiting.
I can see him getting a shot. He's
He'll
doing a
get,
good job.
they keep this up. He'll get an interview somewhere for sure. He'll be interviewed.
Because that'll be 2 years of, like, because last year the offense did nothing to help him, honestly. Once he got his groove after like week 6 or 7, after that Miami debacle, they played ball.
Yeah,
honestly, and the offense didn't help him. Well, I say once Lamar got hurt, the offense didn't help him. So
schedule did,
and that's the unit that's the side of the ball that, you know, week in and week out they're gonna bring it, and it doesn't seem like who's hurt, right? I mean, doesn't matter who's back there at safety. Like those players know where to be. So,
and that's the sign of a great coordinator who can do that, who can, you know, make chicken salad out of you know what. Yeah. So with him, my only problem with him is just his torso is way too small for a grown man. That's my only problem with him. He got a torso like the dad from King of the Hill.
What? And on that, we're gonna transition to.
No, I got a question, Coach.
Oh, go ahead.
What's wrong with your man? The other week he got joked for running out of bounds at the interception. And what did he do after his interception this game?
You was watching. Was you watching?
I was with you. Yeah.
As soon as he caught the ball, like, you bet not run out of.
Geno Smith right out of bounds.
Stone. He said Smith.
Like he said to score.
Geno Stone.
I'm Geno Stone. Yeah, I'm sorry, because Geno Smith got hurt. He's injured out the game.
Oh,
damn.
They got Drew Lock. Oh, they gonna
Drew Lock time.
Yep, they're gonna lose. I don't know, man. He don't know what the end zone smell like.
He don't want to.
Because you know, and as you know, as us all being young men at one time, the thing is, once you smell something, you get a whiff of
it. That's all you want.
That's all you want. And so he ain't never had a whiff of the end zone, so he don't know what he missing.
He don't know that feeling.
Right. You know, once you get a whiff of something, you kind of start chasing it. He never had a whiff of the end zone, so he ain't chasing.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Now let's go to the linebackers.
Good comparison. I like that.
I like that
one. That's a perfect one.
Because it's true, Mike. If you don't know
it's
what,
very true.
You know, once you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, Geno Smith still going. Geno Stone still going. Ew.
That's nasty.
All right, now let's go down to linebackers. Queen and Roquan, and we saw a little bit of 30 toward the end. But let's not. We didn't even talk about him. He was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Simpson, yeah. But Queen and Roquan still playing lights out, man. And it's hard to say they're the number 2 linebacker duo in the league. I'm still got them 1A and 1B with Werner and Greenlaw right now. Both those 4 guys right now are playing some great. Appreciate you, Buck. Appreciate you, Buck.
Salute.
So since we on Streamlabs, you can't hear what it says, but I did, so I'm gonna read it to you. Buck says this was a good one. It says, "Congratulations, Ravens, on the dub. So now can we laugh at Suge and his pitiful Steelers? He."
Oh, trust
Not
me,
yet. We gotta play them next week.
But they did look bad. Yes,
They did.
And Kenny Pickett's hurt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pickett's hurt too.
That might help them.
So Trubisky might be the quarterback.
I just say Kenny's not going to miss any time, probably.
Let me see something. Hold on. I might have to pull you out for 1 second. Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Let me see if you can see it. Can you see it? Let me move my name. 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second, people. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Get my name out the way. How I move my name? All right. So y'all see this little cup right here? This is the tip jar. So anytime somebody donate, these little coins gonna go in this tip jar. So the object is to fill this jar up every time we do a live stream. So, and I took my name off, and you can't really see it when all 6 of us are up here. Now I'll move it so the next time all 6 of us are up here, it can be seen. I'll probably put it next to my head or something. But the object is to try to fill this up on live stream. So anytime you tip or super chat, coins will drop in here. So, and because I had it blocked when Buck donated, you didn't see them fall in. But the object is to fill this up. So anytime somebody donate, coins will drop in here, and that's the object of the live streams to keep us rolling. And I'll kind of tell you why I put that up there toward the end of the stream, and kind of deals with me turning down some opportunities to stay here with you guys and free this time up. But remind me to talk about that toward the end of this stream. I'm gonna bring everybody back.
Coach, I thought that was like a chalice.
Yeah, I picked that one because it was similar to the chalice.
Yeah.
I picked that one because it's similar to the chalice. Oh, now you can see it now. Okay, so I leave it up there.
I saw it before.
I just took the names off.
That's dope.
Hey, Julian.
So anytime somebody donate, that'll drop some change down into the cup.
Hey, Julian, the goal is to fill it all the way up and overflow it.
That's
the goal. Yep. Overflow. Like church.
Drop it in there. Make it rain. But back to the linebackers. I'm sorry.
You good.
I think they play well, and I think they're 1A and 1B with Greenlaw and Warner, and they all over the place. And Roquan sets the tone with his words, and he backs up with his play. And that I was in a space today. I don't know if you was in that, Chris, but the topic of Queen came up, and they were talking about like, do we? Because I know I initially was like, just play Queen and just let him, price himself out and get the compensatory quick pick. But now I'm like, man, what do we do to try to keep this fella? Because like he's only 23 or 24. Roquan, I think, is like 26. I mean, 4 or 5 years with these cats together, we can get some pieces around them, some young cats, and they can make it work. I'm like, do what we need to do, like some kind of way. But how y'all feel about they play?
I think I'm echoing what you say. I think they're playing at an extremely high level, and we could talk about positional value and all of that stuff, but when you see the level that they're raising the whole defense, like it's not just the linebacker group, like the whole defense is being elevated by their play. Mm-hmm. And I loved Roquan when the trade happened. I liked it, but I was like, how much impact is a linebacker going to have, an inside linebacker? How much is it going to have? And, almost a year later, and we're seeing it. And it's not just his play on the field. It's just like, it's like a gravitational force that he has on that team. And you heard Jadeveon Clowney talk about it yesterday, where he's like, he's the best linebacker I've ever played with. And he just makes me want to play better and raise my game and elevate everybody around him. So it's the intangible stuff too that doesn't show up in the box score that you have to account for when you're talking about humans playing the game of football.
Yeah. That sack that Patrick Queen had. I mean, that's what we've been waiting to see from Patrick Queen since we drafted him. But I want to go back to something me and B said back when he did get drafted and why we didn't like that pick, right? We liked the player, didn't like the pick. We said that a few times for a few players, but particularly Patrick Queen, because the standard for Patrick Queen was CJ Mosley, right? because that's why we didn't want to pay CJ Mosley, because we figured we can go younger, cheaper, and possibly better. So he already had high expectations. And the question back then was, well, one, do you think he could be as good as CJ Mosley? Right. Two, if he is as good or better than CJ Mosley, do you think this team is willing to pay him $20 million a year? Because that's what it's going to end up taking. And here we are. It's going to cost about $20 million a year. And we're talking about he priced himself out. So no, I don't think it was worth it. Like, yeah, I would like to keep Patrick Queen. Absolutely. But they pay Roquan Smith a ton of money. I don't think they're going to pay Patrick Queen a ton of money. I mean, could be wrong, but I don't see it. And that pick could have went to something else that could have helped us further down the road, because everything he's doing now, that's great. But I mean, he didn't get it going until Roquan got here.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I would before he got there.
Like a couple of weeks before he got here, he started turning it up, but
not like this.
Right.
Not to this level.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, not to this level. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Well, I don't even think he got my bad, B. I don't think he got it going to this level till this season. But he did start going that way. I'm sorry, B. Go ahead. My bad.
I don't get it. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I think that they're playing phenomenally, both of them. Right? They're outstanding. Like Chris said, they're raising the level, everybody around them, and all that. Coach, like he said, I think they are probably the best duo in the league at that spot. And I would be unbelievably sad for Ravens fans if the decision that organization made is we're going to pay 2 middle linebackers $20 million, but we're not willing to pay 2 wide receivers. Like, we won't even call DeAndre Hopkins, or we're not willing to pay Orlando Brown to stay and protect Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, it just nah. You can't pay Patrick Queen.
Well, listen,
because you have massive holes elsewhere that you still need to fill.
Well,
I don't think 20 million is an option though. You can't. I agree with you. Can't pay him 20 million. But will he take 15?
No,
you can't. You can't pay him 15 either.
But
you can't have 35 million in that position.
You can if you do everything else you need to do, right? I mean, we're saying. I mean, we're conditioned to say it's got to be either or. When it comes to these players, but other teams find a way to pay all their players, right? The comparison of these two linebackers is Fred Warner and Greenlaw, right?
What do they make?
49ers. The 49ers, where are they lacking? They're not lacking anywhere. They have everything.
Except
quarterback. But but you find a way to pay those other players or draft them or whatever. So yes, I would like to see them keep Patrick Queen, but our motto is hashtag defund the defense. The offense got to eat first, right? Make sure you're getting all the weapons, make sure you're getting all the protection, and then the defense can eat. Or listen, man. There's a couple of guys that we ain't getting our money's worth out of them in the safety position. Safety position. I like Marcus Williams. I like him a lot, but $70 million, that's a whole lot of money. So make some tough decisions on that side, but don't do it at the expense of the offense.
I'm looking at the contracts right now, and I think the Tremaine Edmonds deal is like close to what he would get. And Tremaine Edmonds is like at $18 million a year on average. So I can't see him getting less than Tremaine Edmonds.
He's outperforming Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
And that's he for the Bears, right?
Yeah.
What did they pay the other year too? What Edmonds and Edwards? Because they paid big money for 2 linebackers. What did they pay Edwards?
Edwards, let me see.
Because he had a good year in Philadelphia last year. Because them was the 2 guys they said were better than Roquan and PQ. Because obviously they had Greenlaw and Warner as one. Then they were the media was trying to say Edmonds and Edwards were better than Roquan and PQ. The reason I know that because I was doing the research for the countdown this summer.
I mean, look, that's going to put it in a precarious situation because if you just look at Roquan, and the best thing is to look at is the game from Sunday. The Bears defense was up 28-7.
Yeah.
And they let Russell Wilson. They let Russell Wilson without once Roquan left, that defense went to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Rowe was on one level. PQ is inching close behind him. So what do you think he's going to want? Now, regardless, we could say he's not getting $20 million from the Ravens. It's about what he wants. It's about how much money he wants. Now, they can franchise tag him, piss him off. He may be set out. But if he says, hey, I'm looking for a contract in a range of 18 to 20 mil, then what you going to do?
All right. My thing is, can he do what he's doing now in a system by himself? That's one thing.
That's a good question.
He might go get paid, but can he have this production that he's having now solo dolo?
I mean,
probably not.
I mean, if outside of possibly CJ Mosley, what line and partially Bart Scott, what Ravens linebacker left this organization and went and did something?
No, not many.
Edgerton and Hartwell,
Jamie Sharper,
yeah.
He didn't do much. No, he wasn't.
Wow, he's going.
Paul Kruger,
Jamie Sharper's post.
Paul Kruger was okay that first year after he left
when he went to Cleveland, but when he went to New Orleans.
Odell's deal says 1 year, but it's not because it has that voided years on
they
it.
added.
And what are you going to do?
You better hope
without Odell next year. What are you going to do at the wide receiver spot then?
It's going to cost him more money. It's going to yeah. It's
going to cost us more money for Odell not to play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, go for it. Open that checkbook.
I don't like. Look, you rather have a second middle linebacker, even though you just drafted another one, rather that than a second corner, rather that than a legit left guard, than a legit right tackle. Then I hate to say it at this point. Hopefully this clears up, but a wide receiver you can depend on every week. You want that second middle linebacker more than anything else?
And it's looking like we need a right guard as well.
Of course not, but
get all them too.
Yeah, but look at, the 49ers as an example. They paying everybody. They figuring it out. They
49ers want to pay their quarterback.
And that's true. That's true. They don't, and they,
that right, Chris?
They taking advantage of that, but make it happen.
Yeah.
Dang, one session.
Okay, so Edmonds ain't getting. Edwards ain't getting a whole lot of money then.
Mm-hmm.
He got minimal money.
And to answer your question, Coach, Fred Warner right now his cap hit is a little over $1 million. His extension looks like he's kicking in next year with his first cap hit at 15. And Greenlaw
$1 million, B
right now. He signed an extension. It just hasn't kicked in yet.
But still, he making $1 million this year.
Well, that's his cap number. I don't know how much he actually made this year, but Greenlaw is at $4 million.
4?
Yeah.
They robbing people over there.
First of all, Coach, when you have a smart GM, you can do things like that.
They are, bro.
That's not what they're getting paid. That's a cap hit,
right?
Oh, okay.
So it's how they move the money around, right? Okay. Like they're making a lot of money, but what it counts in their first year isn't as much, and they push it on the back end.
Kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, they're kicking it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Got it.
But the end of the road,
everybody learn from the Saints, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'll say this, Coach. I say it with confidence that they are the best duo in the league right now, and that other two, they are damn good. But I think the two we got here, they the way they playing, and the way they feeding off of each other, it's I would put them up against anybody. I'll say that
they don't have an all-world front in front of them either.
Right. Exactly. And they're carrying a lot because of that. You know what I mean? And to watch PQ find a way to use the speed, but slow himself down and use it to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful sight. So, I would love to see him here. We talked about it before, as you guys are saying, he might price himself out. But the Ravens need to look into it to see if they can make it happen and not mortgage the rest of the team in the offensive side of the ball and the other places that you got glaring holes at. But give me that group over anybody in this league right now.
Right. But isn't that part of the problem though? The part of the problem with EDC's draft picks are they don't really do too much in the first 3 years, and then in that final year they do something and go get paid somewhere else. So now we're in the same boat of replacing them with somebody else that don't play for 2 or 3 years, and the cycle just keeps repeating itself. So
that's the Ravens' way, man. That was Ozzy's way too.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
But
the only difference is Ozzy hit on more of the later picks than EDC. But yeah,
I mean more picks in general. I guess we can say Queen in Hollywood and Kyle Hamilton and Linderbaum are the only picks that Eric really hit on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Hamilton
he hit on Dobbins. You can't. It's not his fault. Dobbins got hurt.
Yeah,
he hit on Dobbins.
Yeah, true that. Dobbins good now. He's just
Dobbins good. Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not good, but
yeah, he used to be good.
I can't put 1,300 yards in 4 years as a successful.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in context, right? Like he can play, right? He got a good player there. I mean, the production ain't there, but he got a good player there. So I can give him that.
And we have to wait on Bateman.
You should slow down, bro.
We're gonna let that one sit for a minute.
I still believe in Bateman, but we got to see.
I pray that he gets healthy, but I'm
starting to lose. Belief don't catch passes.
They don't. That's what I said. We gotta wait.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Wait, listen. Year 4, Bateman's gonna catch fire.
Listen,
we can't. It's year 3.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's year 3. We can't be having a debate about whether he's gonna be good or not in year 3. Like. We should already know this.
When he don't ever play.
His best pick gonna be Zay Flowers.
Who?
EDC.
I'll be darned. His best pick is Tyler Linderbaum.
I about to say.
That's a good. Yeah. But look, his best offensive pick.
Tyler Linderbaum.
Skill position. I'll say that. But listen. I think we got one in that kid, man. I think that kid gonna be serious. He's going to be serious. And
if we don't ruin him,
throw him 10 4-yard passes every game.
Hey, when you throw them 10 4-yard passes, he finds a way to make something out of what.
Yeah, but you're gonna get him hurt doing all that. Like they're overutilizing him. Like once he'll catch a long pass.
I do get scared when he
Right, but my thing is he catch a long pass and then you throw him 3 consecutive screenplays. Like let him get a rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we'll get to the offense in a minute. Let's slide down to the defensive line. It's crazy that a guy we signed Wednesday or Tuesday had more production than Ojabo already.
He's another one, right?
Is that a play? Is he on the Ravens?
Yes, he's on the Ravens.
Oh, you mean injured Bo? Injured Bo. Gotcha.
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna let y'all have it. The guy that I like up front is starting to playing some good football. Travis Jones.
Yes,
he's starting to eat up blockers, and he's allowing PQ and Roquan to run through free and do some things. And Travis ain't gonna have a lot of stats. Travis just eat up blockers. Just keep eating up blockers. And when the ball comes to you, do your job. I like the ball that Travis is playing right now. And I hadn't dissected the defense like I do the offense. I normally do defense on Tuesday. So I haven't seen how good Travis has played yet, but I like him the way he just eat up blockers and allows PQ and Roll to run. And he allows Clowney to have one-on-ones too. So I just like the ball that Travis and Pierce has been doing it too. And I did see Broderick get in, like, because I hadn't been noticing Broderick during the games, like live, but I noticed him yesterday. So them 3 guys in the middle has been playing solid football for me. And we are, other than Clowney, we are a edge at work. We're a patchwork edge group on the edge, other than Clowney. And I couldn't even put words together to figure out what we are on the edge.
A disappointment. That's what we are. Especially when we had edge rushers here.
I think a patchwork edge rusher group would be like, hey, we grabbed so and so off a practice squad. We grab somebody we drafted in the 7th round is getting snaps for us, that kind of thing. Y'all are just a failure at edge.
Oh my gosh.
It's unfortunate.
54 might practice this
week.
You
keep talking, and you saw the message that Clowney had, huh? When Marlon was messing with him, huh? So Marlon does the post game IG live on the away games, and he went up to Clowney and was like, "Hey, they starting to call you almost sack." Clowney was like, "Fuck you," and whoever said that, and Marlon was like, "No, man, I'm just playing. I made that up." He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
He ain't make it up." Listen, for me, Jadeveon Clowney and Kyle Van Noy are godsend. The 2 players that we picked up later on are the only ones giving us pass rush. I have an issue with this only because we tried this last year with the wide receiver position. They said, let the young guys cook and let's see what they can do. And we realized the young guys didn't know how to turn on the stove. Tried that same recipe. Tried the same recipe this year when it comes to the pass rush. We're like, we don't need to sign any veterans. We're going to let these young guys cook and see what they can do. And once again, we've proven at certain positions, we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Coach Blackula, please.
What is wrong with Blackula?
You must have said something. Don't worry about it. Just hit that block. Y'all are getting real disrespectful.
First of all, Blackula, I'm saying, listen, that Florida State. Well, listen, we went out and got one Florida State guy at corner.
And we didn't mention him, but he balling too,
and he helped solidify that unit. He's the Darby's been balling. So if we go out and get Brian Burns,
his internet ain't hold up for that bullshit.
Yeah, he's out for a minute.
He back.
Just BB wishing back.
But no, man, look, I mean, we're making jokes, but you got a 1st round pick and a 2nd round pick that's supposed to come in here and really lock down those spots. That's got to be the expectation when you're drafting players that high. And we got 2 guys that literally came off the street, and we're paying them the lowest amount of money possible, and they're just outperforming those guys. That's embarrassing, right? Like, I mean, and we tried to go back and get Zadarius Smith last year. It's not. That's what I'm saying, man. Like EDC, this isn't good enough, man. This is not good enough. Like you're spending a lot of picks. Salute. You're spending a lot of high picks on misses, and that has to change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding out hope 54 come back. Hopefully he comes back soon. And he's healthy. And I think 54 Van Noy and Clowney. That'll be a solid threesome of outside pass rush. How long is Oweh out? Do we know?
Nope. They're not saying. They're not saying.
So
what's he even hurt from? Like what's his injury?
It's a high ankle sprain, right?
Ankle. Yeah.
Broken pride.
No, somebody landed in his ankle. I'm gonna stick up for Oweh. Somebody landed right on his ankle.
I believe it.
That should look ugly.
They rolled up on him like they rolled up on a Jabo.
Oh, Jabo, man, that's crazy.
Somebody rolled up on him.
It was an ankle. It was an ankle. Now it's an ankle/knee. Now it's.
Well, you know what it is.
That's a shoulder.
It's the same knee that he injured.
Soft tissue.
So no, he tore something.
Let me see. Hold on. T Sizzle donated 5. It says 190 plus in the chat. Get active in the chat. Double back and show love on that like button, Kinfolk. Appreciate you, T Sizzle. Appreciate it.
That's almost 200 people in here. I hope you all are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button.
Appreciate it. And Michael dropped the dude said Hendo as hell. Appreciate it.
I always picking on.
Oh, we got 220. We got 220 in this thing. Appreciate it. Hit that like button, everybody.
Let's go.
Hit the subscribe button. I know not all y'all
could have been 221, but it's 2 weeks in 2 weeks in a row we did disappointed somebody. Last week, Chris got unfollowed on Twitter last week.
Oh, I forgot about that, man. Did you
why you gotta bring that up? we were here having a good time.
Nah, yeah, and that's messed up, man. You know he already stressed out with the loss of that OnlyFans revenue.
Hey, subscribe to the OnlyFans, yo.
He's trying to get away from it all.
That's funny.
All right, let's switch on over to the appreciate it, T. I just did the 100. Appreciate it. I just did it. I just hit the back room and did it. Appreciate it.
Let's Coach, when we get these co-host points.
We can talk about that. We can talk about that once we hit the end. We have our backdoor meetings. We definitely can talk about that. Definitely. That's the thing we can talk about it. Definitely. We can talk about that. That could be a thing. That definitely can be a thing. But
you hear that, Handler? You hear that? You hear that? How that's supposed to go?
I gave you co-host points last week, bro.
Bullshit.
Last month.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of, went out of top dog last month.
Fucking causing problems, Hendo, man. Why? I don't think I asked you to say anything.
Yes, Coach is.
Coach was the top dog.
Went out of top dog last month.
You were right.
Winner chicken dinner around this joint.
You gotta decide what you want, Coach.
We'll talk about that off stream too. We gotta put everybody in our business.
Yes. And for those of you who don't know what's going on, there's a point system going on here. Okay. Those of you in the chat, look, there's 220 people in here. I know not all of you guys know what's going on. What you're doing right now, being active in the chat, donating, what else? Subscribing, Patreon, all that stuff will get you points over here, over on our channel as well, over on Hendo's channel, right? At the end of each month, the person with the most points gets a prize. All right. What do they get over here, Coach?
Well, I kind of switched it up like you guys did. So we got a certain amount. I explained it in the video, I think Saturday night. So I give away a boatload of points for a bunch of different things. And I explain what each, how you get them over there. But you get 5K points, you get your name put on the wheel, and we spin the wheel at the end of the month. It was the most points, but we kind of know who's going to get the most points at the end of the month around here. And he even said it needs to be kind of randomized over here because he won again this month and gave his prize away. And so you get a certain amount of points. And again, I give a boatload of points away for a number of things, and I explained them all in the video Saturday night. The video is titled Channel Updates, and I think it's got a subtitle with Jane Doe and something that's loyalty points. So go check that out, and you can see like how I'm giving away all the points. But you get over 5K, you get your name on that wheel, and that's how I pick it at the end of the month. But similar to what you guys are doing, but because I got almost a show every day, that's why my number is kind of higher than you guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they got a point system. Hendo got a point system, and we try to be channels that give back for you guys spending time with us. Every channel don't give back. A lot of channels just take,
especially monthly.
Yeah, a lot of channels just take. We try to give back for you guys spending your time with us and kicking it with us, and because we just hang out together, like we just hanging out now. It's 200 of y'all here hanging out with us. I know y'all watching us and probably watching the game too, and we just having a good time. We having a good time on screen. Y'all having a good time in the chat box, and we just want to give back.
That's why they got to fill that cup up, Coach.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Got to fill that cup up. Definitely. But again, once I tell y'all the story, I think there'll be a little more incentivized to kind of fill that cup up too, because I turn some stuff down to stay here with you guys, because I think this is more worth my time than what I probably would have been doing. Okay. But we can we'll talk about that at the end.
Okay.
But go ahead, Jose. I'm sorry. I just took over your conversation. My bad.
No, I mean, I was just kind of just saying, hey, make sure you guys are staying active in the chat. Make sure you're donating. I think we've proven by this point that, that money we put it to good use, right? Yeah. We give back to you guys. I mean, for you, those of you who showed up to the meet and greet, we delivered.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That was a lot of fun. We plan on doing it again next year. And we plan on doing a lot more stuff for you guys, and like the monthly prizes, on a few of our channels that again, that's us giving back to you.
Right. Realer words couldn't have been typed right there.
Facts.
Realer words couldn't have been typed right there. That last word, algorithm, that's why we all up here. Like that, you getting that algorithm, it helps a bunch. It helps a bunch. So that's what, it is what it is. So I appreciate everybody that come through and do what help us out. And let's keep this thing rolling, man. Let's get to the offensive side. That's what everybody want to talk about. Because even though we scored 28 points, it's been kind of controversial. So we'll say
controversy.
Huh?
What's the controversy?
The way we did it. The way we did it.
4 touchdowns, I'll take it. I don't see any controversy there.
The way we did it. Let's start with we'll say 8 for last. We'll say 8 for last. Start with the O-line. Bad.
Oh, that's what you give. Listen. I think
Linderbaum was fine.
The Linderbaum was fine. Well, I'm saying as a whole.
No, I say the offensive line played decently. Actually, up until I think the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, I was like, they're doing pretty well considering. They're playing a bunch of backups. You got Zadarius on one side, and you got Myles Garrett on the other. Now they did make some plays, but overall, I mean, we rushed for 150 yards?
You right, Hendo. You right, Hendo.
But you also gave up the 3 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. Got Lamar hit 7 times.
Yeah. But part of that was the offensive coordinator. But I just think overall they did decent enough considering you got possibly the defensive player of the year, and Zadarius Smith ain't nothing to play with. And they got a couple of Koromoa. Like they have dudes on. They were the number one. Huh?
Hold on, Hendo. We got a request.
Uh-oh.
That tip. Julian dropped 25, but your name was mentioned, so I got to stop you.
Oh, what I do now, Julian? What I do now?
Your name was mentioned, so I got to stop you. Hold on. He said he dropped 25, so appreciate you, Julian. He said, "Come on, thing. What my recent events at? Come on, act right." Oh, come on now. Don't do me like this. There we go. I said, let's get that tip jar full. And if we make the Super Bowl, we need to get Hendo to do a sing-along with his favorite singer. I feel like that's an inside joke somewhere.
You already know what it is. Everybody knows what he's talking about.
So they're going to be live streaming that halftime show. Sing along.
And don't be at no Super Bowl parties.
If we get to the Super Bowl, somebody got to record Hendo singing what Usher song.
Hendo gonna walk outside during the Super Bowl. During the halftime show.
So Hendo volunteering to do the beer run. Appreciate it, Julian. That's a great one, Julian. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
If the Ravens make the Super Bowl, they make the Super Bowl, I'll do it. As much as I dislike that,
it's on camera.
If they make the Super Bowl, I'll do an Usher song.
That is. It's on camera.
You gotta do the chain spin too and catch it.
You can use your rope.
I don't even know what that is.
It was pretty self-explanatory there.
Take your chain
and then catch it. Hendo about to send Andy Reid a copy of the Ravens playbook.
Where Jazz at? We need Jazz to record this. Where Jazz at? I know she's around somewhere. Go ahead, Hendo. I'm sorry. I had to stop you on that one.
Oh no, I know, but I was just saying, I think with everything being considered, I don't think they played as bad as the stats were. I just
You see what happens when you get a little positive?
Yeah, I mean, they don't like it.
I hear you, Hendo. You're saying you're grading them on the curve, considering who was out there,
the number one,
who they're playing against. They didn't play that bad, but no, they played bad, right? Like, yes, I get it. Like, they're gonna do that to a lot of teams, and when they do it to those teams are gonna play bad, right? It's fine. We don't have to, we don't have to sugarcoat it. There's one player out there that played really well. That was Tyler Linderbaum, and you know what it is with Patrick McCary, right? I don't care. I see a trend on growing on social media to get Ronnie Stanley up out of here. No, Ronnie can take as much time as he needs and then get out there and block for us, because Patrick McCary is not a viable option, and there are no viable options for us to get somebody as good as Ronnie Stanley right now. We can't draft somebody high. There's not going to be anybody available in free agency. Teams don't trade top tier tackles like that.
No, apparently drafting somebody high is not a solution anyway. So.
It's early. It's early. I was talking to Unnecessary Bluntness about this the other day. We can't say the B word yet.
Right.
He's not a bust yet, but he's got to figure some things out.
I didn't say bust. I say he playing like shit. But to Hendo's point, I like this grading on a curve thing because grading on the curve, Carolina's actually doing pretty well this year.
Yeah, they are. Because
look, I'm with you. I'm with you, Hendo. I thought all things considered. I think with this group, you have to do all things considered. I'll say this: I'll take this performance this week against that defense than how they played last week against the Colts. Right? So, yeah, Lamar got touched a little bit, 3 sacks, but look, Myles Garrett is he's just that dude. And I don't think Morgan played that bad until before he got hurt. Now, you usually been shouting this guy out the last few weeks, Coach. And I think he gonna be, I think he wired up this week for Ravens Wire. But Ricard, well, they put him in there to look. I see your face here though. Listen, let's take it with. At least he's not touching the ball, right?
He had a nice catch. He had a nice catch.
Did he have a catch?
Nice third down.
14 yards.
I didn't even. Damn, I don't know what I did with that. I must have got another bit. But anyway,
the game is so boring. So yeah.
But the way they're using him to help out and block, especially with this patchwork offensive line, man, I like it, and I think he likes it. I think he found a role where he's out there trying to hit somebody, and he got into a little scrum with some of the other Browns players, and he was in the mix. But I think all things considered, man, I don't think they played that bad. I'll take it. I'm more disappointed. The way they played against the Browns, the way they played against the Bengals, right, was great. That effort they had against the Colts, I was more disappointed in that than I am how they played this past.
The Colts defense is pretty good though, better than the Bengals.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, but the Colts, the
Browns was supposed to be number one.
Yeah, and then going into that Bengals game, that's when we first lost our two, best linemen. So they got two good rushers on the edge there. So it was just we didn't know what we were going to see. But I thought that they would hold after playing that way. I thought they would hold up against the Colts. That's why I thought this week they would be chicken liver. But they held up. They held up pretty well, all things considered. Because that dude, man, Myles Garrett is that, and the way his ankle been back, the average dude would have been done.
Yep.
So that dude's a freak.
And he really ain't have but that. Like he made plays, but he really ain't have but that one Myles Garrett moment where he went and he saw likely to the outside. He spent back inside, and I think it was Melvin Gordon or some back couldn't readjust, and next thing you know, he was eating Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Didn't he have one? We might be talking about the same thing, but didn't he have one where like three people tried to chip block him? He just ran right through them.
He only had one sack. He only had one sack, so that had to be the play.
Okay,
but I think it was like the first 3 plays of the game. He got into the backfield and had Lamar spin, and then Zadarius and the other guy kind of got Lamar. Like he was there. He was in the backfield all day. He may have only got one sack. Yeah, he destroyed them.
It was Macari killer.
He had one sack, but that doesn't even tell the story.
Yeah, he was a menace.
Yeah, we got
I agree with Mike and Hendo. Like watching it live, I was like, "Dang, this is ugly." But then when I went back and I watched the game again, and granted, whenever you got Myles Garrett, he's gonna get. It's like Steph Curry. Like you don't stop Steph Curry.
Right.
Like he's gonna
be quiet, bro.
Listen, man, when we talking about basketball, please don't interrupt me.
Right. Let the man talk about Steph Curry.
No, but for real though, it was better than I initially thought it was. Like I thought they were trash, but Lamar, he didn't. Mike said it. Lamar got beat up against the Colts. Like they were putting hits on him. In this game, he didn't really get like those licks that the Colts were getting off. And I think you saw a big difference with the communication that Linderbaum brought. Like last week, it was just like chaos at the offensive line. You saw Kevin Zeitler trying to call things out. That's not a role that he's comfortable with. He's not the one that's calling out protections and trying to get the whole offensive line on the same page. with Linderbaum there, everything just seemed calm. Like they weren't like going crazy. They were staying patient on stunts and loops. They would just they were there. They were able to pick them up. Now it wasn't perfect. Let's not go crazy. But I thought it was better than I initially thought it was after the live watch.
It looked better. It looked like the operation looked a lot better than the Colts last week.
The Colts performance, it was horrendous.
Like somebody asked me in the question with Coach that I do on Wednesday, do I think if Linderbaum had played against the Colts, do we win? And I wholeheartedly thought yes, because communication would have been better. Like all those stunts and stuff that the Colts did, Linderbaum would have been able to communicate who did what when they did what.
They were confusing the hell out of the offensive line all game last week.
Yeah.
Good on O-line.
Yeah, we need to replace Zeitler.
I think his time's coming to an end. It's going.
He has some work to do on the O-line this offseason.
Yeah. It's going to either be Voorhees, Cleveland, or somebody that ain't on the team right now.
Now, Cleveland might get some look at right tackle this week because they say Morgan might not play.
Speaking of right tackle, Falele looked terrible. Like,
yes,
he was. I don't know if it's because he was cold and just coming into the game, but that's the worst that I've seen him play since he's been on the Ravens.
You seen those westerns where they walk in the swinging doors?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Falele look like.
The swinging doors.
Yeah, at least the doors swing back.
Let me ask y'all a question. What do y'all think about Voorhees? Because he couldn't stay healthy in college. He got hurt right before the draft, and now I see everybody saying next year he's going to be the starter. Like he's got to get healthy first.
It's just the classic like building that unknown thing up. Like that. I mean, that's what all fan bases do. Like, just wait till Voorhees comes. He's not I'm a fan of Voorhees, but he's not a sure thing. Like you said, Hendo, he was at USC for like 15 years or something like that, and he was hurt a bunch of those years.
That's why he was there so long.
And waivers. He has a bunch of versatility on the line. Like I think he'll be solid, but for the people that's just like thrusting him into the starting lineup for 2024, like let's pump the brakes a little bit.
You can't pencil him in for any starting position.
And I like him. I like him as a player, but you got to be realistic a little bit. He's no Tylan Wallace.
Let's go get Collins, man. Collins out there, man. Sign that man to the practice squad or something. Man. Yeah, we do.
he said the Panthers already claimed him.
That's terrible.
Until you have somebody earn a 0 grade in pass blocking in the game.
Did you hear that on the show, Coach?
What, no.
Did you hear talk about that? Your boy.
Like, we don't
post the video on him.
We don't like PFF. Generally speaking, particularly when they talk about the O-line. But when they grade like pass blocking, it's in the 50s is where you get to bad. 60s is okay. Above that's good. Chandler Zavala, not this week, but last week, got a 0 and said he gave up 14 hurries in that game. So y'all leave Lyle alone. Everything. You had your chance to fix your O-line. You chose not to.
A goose egg.
0.
Yeah.
No.
0.
And I like Zavala.
But like I told him, he was looking out for his teammate right there because Aquanu had 4 false starts in the game, and nobody, we can't even mention that with the way the Chandler played.
B. And okay, so I was listening to something. I'm finna get off subject for a minute. I was listening to something today, and they was praising how good CJ Stroud is looking, and saying that he's by far the better of 3 quarterbacks. But there's a reason he went later. He went to a better team, because that's why he went later. He went to a better team, and his situation is better because he went to a better. I ain't trying to bash Panthers.
Yeah. Who went to a better team?
Because I say in theory because the Panthers they traded up to get Bryce. So they were supposed to be the better team, but they are not.
No, I'm saying CJ Stroud went to a better team.
No, I'm saying the Panthers were supposed to be the better team. Like the Panthers were better than Houston last year.
Yeah, right there.
They traded up to get Bryce, and then they just shit the bed. Like in every game they've played so far.
Look,
what you was gonna
Houston
say?
has much better O-line.
Huh?
What you
Oh,
was
no,
gonna say?
I was gonna say Houston is not the better team. I think they're both on equal footing. They're both bad teams.
Now Houston has a better O-line. Houston got arguably a top 5 left tackle. Arguably,
True.
Their right tackle is top 20-ish. Tyus Howard, whatever.
Don't we have a top 10 right tackle?
They've got a better O-line, a better quarterback.
I heard what you said.
Back,
I heard what you said.
Better wide receivers, a better tight end, and a better defense. But outside of that,
well,
I mean, it's even.
Outside
of that, huh?
First of all, Carolina has an all-star coaching staff.
Yeah,
yes.
They got Dom Capers.
Frank should let some of those guys coach.
They're gonna be
how
fine.
How many of them coaches playing?
I think look, Frank Wright, slow starter, right? I think they'll start to ramp it up, but they definitely need some help on the offensive side, man. That O-line is not holding up like we thought they would, and they just don't have any skill positions.
Wait.
Muhammad.
Wait, Muhammad. Well, I hadn't looked at. Is that his grade from yesterday?
Is it? I don't even know.
Muhammad, is that his grade? Because Muhammad gave me a question on the what's called. Is that his grade from yesterday?
Lord,
I hope not.
I don't know, but that's pretty high after looking at the game.
Let's go to receivers and tight ends. I'll let y'all start. Let's talk about receivers and tight ends. Y'all start on it while I do some research.
See if Flowers looks amazing.
Yeah,
Marky boy look good.
Yeah, Mark put in his first day of the year.
Yeah,
it was nice to see.
I still think Mark Andrews hurt though. He looks hurt.
He running like that one time when he broke down the sideline. He looked like he was running a little funny, but
like he had boots on.
Yeah, he did. Like he literally looked like he
ain't never really been a graceful runner though.
No. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the one thing that was good to see, and it was just kind of like a taste because he's only played.
Nah, son.
19.
Is it 19?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, 73 against Cincinnati. Wow. A left tackle. So he's playing opposition.
That was Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah, that was only three. That was 3 plays though.
But he crossed that magic number of 5 and it all went to hell.
That threshold.
Wow.
Yikes.
One block.
Yeah.
Ooh, Squirrel Man
gonna have to play, bro.
He played this week.
Yeah, he got some snaps.
Yeah,
it was like 3 snaps, I think.
Okay, I'm sorry, but receivers and tight ends. I'm sorry.
Nah, but I was saying, the good thing in it, and you see it slowly but surely because we haven't really had a full gambit out there. But you see, Mark playing with some other targets out there that people gotta pay attention to. So things are opening up for him, and hopefully it only opens up more once they get Odell and hopefully Bateman back, and likely stops tripping over his own feet and hands, and he does something. But so that was good. Like you see that, and that play he made in the back of the end zone, man, that was a welcoming sight as well. So I think overall, I think they played, they played well. Zay Flowers, he made plays. I think Mark Andrews. I can't think of anybody else that made a play in the back receivers or tight ends because
they only threw it 19 times.
Yeah, and but that those two guys, they looked well to me. They looked solid.
Aguilar almost had another touchdown.
Should have had a touchdown.
Almost.
Yeah.
Should have had a touchdown. So you'll see where he should have had a touchdown in the morning. Hint, wink, 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 hint, hint, hint.
All this talk about likely, but they don't use him in the pass game because he can't catch.
Yeah, I mean, you saw last week when he got used in the pass game and he put his hands up like two bricks and dropped the ball.
That's why you can't get too hyped up over preseason, man. He had a good preseason last year, and it's like, like just. I mean, yes, you're right, Chris. Every fan base does this, but it's just annoying when you see a player have a good preseason. You get excited about him, but then that excitement grows into, can we replace Mark Andrews?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just throwing emojis out there. That's all I'm doing.
Coach, I need you. Do you have the bat symbol? I need you to throw that out for Charlie Kolar. So we can.
No, I would not.
So we can call him over to the actual facility and actually get him in the game.
He played special teams.
That's all we did.
That's all we need him to do.
Is it really?
We don't need him.
We can't find somebody better.
Yeah,
he's stiff.
That's why I'm throwing this coin out here.
Okay.
They might as well get that to what's his name?
Yeah, him. Yeah, that guy.
Vokalek.
Let him play.
Let that guy play.
Might as well.
Then we don't need record.
Hey,
I won't go that far.
Since we talking about record, Ricard is in the role that they've carved out for Ricard like a pumpkin. He's playing A+ in that role.
I agree.
He's playing the little piece of role that they have for him. There you go. Jay gave you that. Jay got it for you. The role that they've carved out for him, Ricard is balling. He's pancaking folks.
Right.
He opening holes for people. Okay. And they tossed him a little pass, and it was a 1-yard pass, and he got 13 extra yards out of it.
Is that role worth $4.5 million?
The role is not worth $4.5 million, but at this point, he already got it.
I'll give him props though. He does exactly what he's asked to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he was worth it. I think he was worth it yesterday because he was helping the O-line out on both sides.
Big time.
And they needed it, because if you got somebody like Isaiah Likely trying to help out on that, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't catch or block.
It was
Likely.
Oh, okay. He thinks I would say he catching better than what's called. Ricard's catching better than both of them.
That's a fact.
Ricard is Weapon X. But he did play well. I was and coming into this season, I was like, what kind of role is he gonna have? Like, why is he even on the team? And they were using a lot of Ben Mason in the preseason, and Mason's kind of more fits that style more of like the Kyle Juszczyk type that you can move around and not be so big and clunky. But I thought that his days were numbered when it came to Ricard. But Monken's using him very well, in my opinion, and he's able to help out basically anywhere. Like he can do it in the run game, he can do it in the pass game. And, we saw yesterday, they forget about him and then he leaks out and he gets a big time third down play. So, it's good to have somebody like that. Obviously, it's not the Greg Roman usage where it's like, all right, you're going to be running 50 routes a game or whatever it is. But,
drags and swings and seams.
He's doing a lot of the dirty work that goes unsung. So hats off to him and his vocabulary for people of color.
Hard or record.
Hard or record.
So we since we talk about hard or record, what about the other backs, man? I think those guys play well. Especially that 93-yard drive, the drive I talked about on the show. I think about 2:00 I did. That drive, man, it was a running back drive, and I felt like they should have been rewarded with it. One of those guys should have been rewarded with that touchdown. Whether it been Melvin Gordon or Justice Hill or Gus, one of those guys should have been rewarded with that touchdown, and they were not. I was disappointed in that, but they ran the ball hard. They ran the ball well. I don't think they fumbled other than the snap exchange, not the snap exchange, the handoff exchange with Lamar, and I think that was Justice. Yeah. But obviously Lamar's hand was open, so that was on Lamar. But I ain't gonna stay too hard on that because he made up for it with his amazing play. Right. So I ain't gonna harp on it. But I think Lamar just loses focus sometime, but he'll snap back into it and do some amazing stuff. But as far as running backs, they play well. And the only bad play I think about the running backs is that right after Melvin Gordon had that great run, they ran quarterback sweep, and Lamar should have scored, but Melvin Gordon just completely whiffed on Denzel Ward.
He cannot block.
And it could have been disastrous for the organization. Because Denzel Ward had a clean shot at Lamar. He went low because Melvin Gordon didn't block him. And that could have been the end for our organization. But
he did the same thing last week.
For real?
Yep. It was I think a safety from the Colts was running, and he just, I don't know if he's cockeyed or something, but he just ran right past him. and Lamar got hit. So he cannot block.
Yeah, but they took him out. Next play, we ran some little fake handoff and end up Gus leading Lamar in for a touchdown. But overall, I think the running backs played well, other than their blocking. But Ricard did the blocking for him, so I'm happy with what the running back is.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they played very well. Melvin Gordon, I got to give him some props. I didn't think he had anything left in the tank, but he still has a little bit there, and even contributed a little bit in the pass game with that nice touch pass that Lamar threw to him.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That was great, and he had that long run too. Justice, I mean, he only carried the ball 3 times, but he made the most out of those opportunities. Now, this is what the offense is going to be like. Like, you see people like, oh, give such and such a touch, give this guy a touch, give that person a touch. But you have to maximize those limited touches because there's so many other mouths to feed. Mm-hmm. And Justice is doing that. He's maximizing those touches. Yep. So, and then Gus, he ran hard, like super, super hard yesterday. And that was like AFC North physical football, the way he was running, because there was some times where there weren't any holes, and he was just straight up bum rushing into dudes and picking up yards that weren't there. So I thought this was probably one of the most impressive games that they've had as a group this season.
And Gordon had 7 yards to carry. Justice Hill had 11 yards to carry, and Gus was 3.2. But Gus led him with 48 yards.
Oh, yeah, and I go ahead, Hendo.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he shouldn't have led him with 30. What was it, 33 yards?
Who, Justice?
Justice.
Yeah, he had 3 for 33.
Yeah, because actually Justice Hill had a 50-yard run that was called back by a holding penalty.
That was a catch, I thought.
I thought it was a run.
Yeah, I think it was a screen. It was a screen. It was a screen.
Yeah. Oh, all right. No. Justice Hill runs. Listen, Justice Hill doing his thing. Gus Edwards. I just think I said they did. They said they did very well. I just need to put an asterisk next to it because I need to say, Todd Monken, you killing me. He's killing me. He's doing that Greg Roman shit. Like, they running the ball, Cleveland can't stop us running. Then he's like, well, let me get real smart and fancy and do some extra stuff.
He's doing the John Harbaugh thing. Like that's, I mean, every offensive coordinator we get does the same thing. That's John Harbaugh. It's John Harbaugh at this point, right?
Yeah, you right about that.
Like, I mean, we see the difference in the play calling. Obviously, he can draw better plays than Greg Roman. That ain't hard to do. But the situational stuff and what's being called, that's Harbaugh.
I think it was Harbaugh that second half when we had that lead, and they was like, "Hey, let's just run the ball and get out of here."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they had 65 people in the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand the logic, but that's how Moses got hurt, because they had all these people in the box and you still trying to run into a brick wall. I mean, it's nothing to throw like quick passes. That helps everybody out, man. You don't have to just run the ball to bleed the clock. You can throw quick passes. I mean, they got everybody in the box and playing you man because they know you want to run the ball, and you coming out here in the eye. That's why Moses hurt.
Yeah. And
now you had to run Falele out there, and then they had Juju Smith-Schuster playing the end and running past Falele. That's what I'm saying. The end was equivalent to Juju Smith-Schuster.
I know what you're
saying. One of y'all said it. I don't know if it was last week or something like that. I think it was last week. One of y'all said that, our ability to put our foot on their neck to close out a game sometimes is a little shaky. Mm-hmm. And I think, even though it felt like we was in control of that game, I think because of our past transgressions and putting in closing out games for sure, Harbaugh, his backside get a little tight, and I think he does want to go conservative in those times, like you said, Coach. Let's run the ball and get out of here. So yeah, that we got to watch out for that. But the running backs as a group played well. I don't know if Justice was on a pitch count or if he re-aggravated his toe, but he looked more explosive yesterday than I've ever seen him in a long time, coming off of it, especially coming off of his injury. So 3 carries, he was gashing. So I don't know, I didn't hear anything about any injury designation for him or anything like that, but I was a little surprised that he didn't get more carries. Melvin Gordon, I love that he's concentrating on holding on to the ball because you could tell that brother is like he like flinching when he know they coming, but he grabbing that arm tight like. So he but he looked well. And Gus, man, Gus is the bus when he get rolling, man. He's a problem, and it was times he was gashing them 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. And in that block when he led Lamar into the end zone, he was looking to take somebody's head off, and that's what you want to see. So, yeah, I get a running back to A.
Okay. No, I wouldn't put it up there for you to stop, Mike. I just sometimes I kick them when I agree with what they saying. I just throw it up there.
Oh no, I was done. I was just reading. I got caught up reading it too.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's right. There is right.
And well, we can move on to 8. Bree, you got a thing about running backs? Did I miss you?
They're fine. I don't think anything that they did was particularly impressive. Like they each made a play, and and I know that they're not, like you said, Cleveland's defensive front is really good, and they're not blocking particularly well. Like it is what it is. Like they don't have any. They're fine.
Yeah. All right, let's get to 8. Lamar Jackson. Let me give you his numbers for yesterday. He was that's the wrong team. That's the Giants and
Seahawks.
Seahawks. See, I got caught lacking without my scrap.
See, Atticus right. Everybody they did their job.
Trying to watch the game without watching the game. There we go. Lamar, 15 for 19, only 4 incompletions, which took me off guard. 186 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing, passer rating of 142. Rushing yards, he was 9 for 27, 3 yards a carry with a long of 10 yards. I saw a stat today that he was, whatever the number was, he only had 1 incompletion. I think it was when he had proper time with a perfect passer rating. I can't remember the exact stat, but when you look at the totality of it, he played, I want to say, darn that perfect football. Yeah. It didn't seem like it looking at it live. He played during that perfect football. And I took some like you'll see on the video I put out in the morning. And if you're a Patreon, you can see it now because it's over there on patreon.com/sip the talent waiting on you. I gave it to you guys early. He made some pretty darn good throws. Some of the throws he made in that game yesterday were some of the better throws I've ever seen him make. That throw to that wheel route to Melvin
Gordon,
that pass to Mark, the pass that was called that was out of bounds to Nelson Aguilar. That was 3 of the better throws I've ever seen him make. And the kid plays damn good football. And the play calling wasn't favorable early. Appreciate you. Who is that? I missed it. Let me see who that is.
Mark.
Appreciate you, Mark. Appreciate you. He said 1 for the glass jar, coach. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate you. Thank you. Justice Hill, running back 1A, more speed makes us lethal. Yes, definitely. All the guys with speed makes us lethal, but we need Gus to close out games. I think we need Gus to close out games. But that's my take on Lamar. You guys got it.
I thought Lamar was very good. He's been great throwing the ball this year. He needs to focus more in on ball security. You can't fumble the ball every game. You can't lose fumbles every game. You know, it was a 25-point win, so obviously it didn't hurt him or anything. But that's something that he's going to have to address moving forward. But throwing the ball, making plays with his feet, he was great.
Yeah, you know, I hear people, you know, like when we have a loss last week, they say, you know, he's playing hero ball too much. But I think that they ask him to play hero ball, right? Look at that Colts game last week. That first half, you know, he's pretty much running the plays. It's just, you know, not that productive. And then the second half, he's kind of taking matters into his own hands more. But I feel like they're kind of encouraging him to do that because they can't get anything going. But when he's not asked to play that role and just run your game plan, he can do this, right? And I think he can do this consistently as long as the play calling is up to par. I think a lot of times the play calling isn't up to par, but you know, I don't think it was perfect this game either. But he was just, you know, he had a little bit more time in the pocket. He was able to get away for some of those sacks, and he was able to execute those plays. You know, and Mark Andrews stepped up as well. So those subtle differences are what make him look perfect to, you know, difference from last week to this week.
I still maintain that once Baltimore is healthy, you know, Odell's back, Bateman's back, their O-line is healthy, they're going to be one of the best offenses in the league. As Lamar's on another level for most of the other quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I was super impressed with his game yesterday, and it's the little things that he was doing. I mean, you got the highlight throws and all of that, but he wasn't forcing anything. You know, against this defense, you can't try to force it. You take what they give you, and that's what he was doing. You know, all right, you want to leave the flat open? Boom, I'm gonna dump it off right there. We're gonna do the little wheel route. All right, I'm just gonna float it over the top. It was a calmness, like I mentioned it earlier when talking about Linderbaum being back in the offensive line. There was just a calmness in the front, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but he switched up the cadence, and he wasn't doing the same cadence that he was last week.
You mentioned that last week, didn't it?
Yeah, and he looked more in control. And I think prior to the game, he said he's happy to have. I think the woman in the pregame thing said that he's happy to have Linderbaum because that's like the second brain on the field. Mm-hmm. And I think you saw that yesterday with the calmness that he was playing with, because in the Colts game, you know, during crunch time, it's a lot of stuff going on, and it's a lot of responsibility when you don't have your starting center in the game. Mm-hmm. And you kind of see that, you know, rattle some guys, and they may not play up to par sometimes. But I think yesterday with Linderbaum back, he looked phenomenal. Like, it was just pinpoint accuracy, beautiful decision making, and I think this is the next progression that you see with Lamar. It's like when you see quarterbacks take that next step, it's guys who can do the wow stuff, but they can also make the routine plays. And that's exactly what you need. You need the routine plays, but along with the wow plays. And we saw Drew Brees make a career out of the routine. Mm-hmm. And then the wow plays when they needed it. And we're seeing Lamar get into that. And, you know, it's exciting to see that progression with him.
This is the stat I was talking about. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. Week 4 versus zone coverage. 12 of 13, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. Perfect passer rate.
Lit their ass up.
Number one defense.
Not perfect is Daniel Jones with his 97-yard pick six.
That was at the goal line. That was horrible.
Damn. Nah, but look, I agree with everything y'all said, man. 8 just looks comfortable this year in the pocket, man. The way he's throwing the ball is amazing. Even last week, you know, he a little off last week, but he still made some throws that you know, you could just see a comfort level in him and passing the ball and dropping back and knowing that he got weapons out there that he can trust and get the ball to. You know, rolling out and that pass that he hit Zay Flowers with, I mean, on a rope. You know what I mean? That was beautiful. The one thing that stuck out to me, the Mark Andrews in the back of the end zone. Like a lot of people were saying he held it too long, and that's questionable. Maybe he could have got it out a little sooner. But if you watch the clip back from the end zone view from behind him or whatever that is, I guess that's the
end zone view.
Okay. You can see 21 was on the wide receiver who was over there too. And he was kind of baiting and he was holding him. He held him there as long as he could before he let the ball go. And then put it up there where Mark can make a play. And those are things like Chris said, he ain't forcing it. Those are things that's we see a little different this year from him, right? He's holding these guys with his eyes and things like that. And it's good to see. I agree with what B saying, man. Once you get a fully healthy offense, I think sky's the limit for this kid. He's the ultimate Swiss Army knife, It even appears that even though I know we've been a little upset because it looks, some things looks similar to what Greg Roman was doing, but it just seems like even the design quarterback runs this year are wide the fuck open. And I think that's because defenses are respecting, they don't know what's coming. They're respecting the fact that he can throw the ball. He can hurt us that way. So they sitting back a little bit. And it just seems like those what he score on the ground last week? Once or twice?
Twice.
So he scored twice the last 2 weeks rushing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed, and all of them were untouched basically. So yeah, man. Salute the 8. Yeah. I think he's playing great. I just can't wait to see what his full clip. Get his full clip, man. Y'all get yourself together and get that man's full clip.
Look at that ball placement.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's crazy. Off his back foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nut.
And Mark caught it because he got stone hands sometimes too.
Right. Right.
You ain't got that. He got that one.
Right. Listen. It's so to B's point, it's going to be really scary when they unleash Lamar. Once we get a full complement of offensive line and wide receivers, I think once the offensive coordinator or John Harbaugh to that extent allows Monken to be an offensive coordinator, because I think even with the subtractions we have right now, Lamar can actually be better. I just think they're not calling up the right plays, but I think Lamar is just so talented. He's just going out here doing it himself. I mean, listen, coming out of college, they compared him to Josh Allen, but they said Josh Allen could improve. And they discounted the fact of what Lamar did in college, saying his completion percentage was low. He could never get better. Right now, Lamar's hitting at a 74% clip. 74% of his passes with wide receivers that he has not really been working with the whole offseason. So I just think that when he and Zay Flowers actually get that downfield connection going, like him and Hollywood had, it's over.
Yep, I agree. 100%. And it's crazy because the pass that I think the pass that he threw to Nelson Aguilar that I think was a great throw, he doubled back. The very next pass was the one to Mark. So he getting his timing down with multiple guys, because that's two, in my opinion, two great throws back to back. So I think we ain't seen what we gonna see out of 8 yet. Once we get the full complement of guys and that stretch run down in the playoffs, after that bye week, I think we're gonna be in for some gaudy numbers.
You think so?
Yeah, some gaudy MVP type numbers from 8, especially if we're healthy.
Okay.
Especially if we're healthy. So that's where I'm at with it. All right. With that being said, let's see where we at with likes, man. I mean, I hit that like button. It's 201 people still in here. We only got 56 likes. We got 160 likes now. We get to 175, you get more tally points. So while we're waiting on you guys to hit the like button, Chris, tell us what you guys at Deep Cover Podcast are working on. Don't leave. Hit the freaking like button before you leave. Let us know what's going on. See, 6 people left already.
Damn.
We're gonna be recording a Deep Cover Pod this week. So look out for that either Thursday or Friday. Thursday or Friday morning it will be out. You can follow me on Twitter at Chris Just Joking. It's the same name on OnlyFans. You can follow both on there. I will drop both deep cover links there as well.
I don't have your OnlyFans picture. I just got the deep cover.
I'm gonna send it to
you. Don't send me no link. Mike, what you got going on?
Man, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Say I got an episode coming. It's just gonna come. When it's time, y'all will get it. But we do have some Ring Kings, content up right now. We covered the Charlo Canelo fight this past weekend. So go over there and check that out. If you have not subscribed already, go and do that, man. That's just the best boxing podcast on YouTube. And I don't say that lightly. It's all respectfully, but we just do our thing over there. We've been on a little break, but we got a lot of content that we will be throwing at you guys soon. And then, man, if you want to go and wait and see when the next open mic episode will come, just go over there and subscribe to Open Mic with OTR Mike. I promise you it will come. I just don't know when. And it'll probably be a surprise, live stream or something like I've been doing. So go over there and check it out, man. Go watch what I got up, and then I promise you I'll be back.
Hey, the reason why it's like that, because life be
life, man. Life be life part 2 coming out, man. That's coming out.
Life be life. Jose B.
Yes, me and B are the Lunch Break Hot Take. We do a live stream every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the Overtime Show, which you can find on our Patreon at patreon.com/LBHT show. And like Mikey said, man, Ring Kings podcast. Okay, that's ourselves. Mikey, we do a boxing podcast. We do live streams after every major fight. We just did one for the Canelo and Charlo fight. I see a few of you guys that were there in the chat. They were there that night, so appreciate you. And look, man, and Hendel going to tell you about his what he's got coming up too. But 200 people in here, man. Subscribe. Go take a second to go to everybody's channel. If you like this content tonight, we all have our own, our own content that you're going to enjoy. I said it on our channel, man. Like me, Mikey went to a Wu-Tang concert. I get a lot of inspiration from Wu-Tang, right? That's what you got right here. Okay, you got the Wu-Tang Clan. We all got our own things going on. We form together. We're the unstoppable force. So support everybody's work.
And Rogue Pod, Hendo.
Yes, sir. It's the Rogue Pod. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of those at the Rogue Pod. I do a live show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Followed up on every Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, I will be with my man, Mr. Galloway, on Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway talking everything hip hop, especially old school hip hop, because we don't like that new stuff. Can't understand it. Also drop a preview video to the upcoming Ravens games on Wednesday evening. And do I have anything else going on? Yeah, I do. Actually, I have a new channel that I'm going to be releasing this week.
Called More Rogue Pod.
You know what? I wouldn't be mad at that. Under circumstances, it is what you gotta do. What you gotta do. Unlike some. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Coach, it's not called More Rogue Pod, Coach.
I know. I'm just messing with you. Just messing with you.
It's called More and More Rogue Pod.
It's called Even More Rogue
Even
Pod.
More Rogue.
Actually, it's called Game of Tones.
Okay.
What I'm doing is I'm doing a trivia type show where I take lyrics from songs, but I put a Game of Thrones twist on them, and the people kind of have to guess what the actual real song is.
And I'm already 2-0.
You're 1-2. You're 1-2.
That's some bullshit. I'm 2-0. So I'm way out in front on the loyalty points over there.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, as for me, y'all know where you at. You at Sip the Tally Films. I also have the second channel. It's called More Sip the Tally. So go over there and subscribe to that. We're trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers. And for the 157 that are still left, you guys get the story that I was promising. Those other 40 or 60 or so people that left, they don't get the story. So as you know, 2 years of student coaching before I got my certification, 19 years of actual teaching and coaching. So that's a total of 21 years of coaching. If you don't know, I love to do it. Had an opportunity to get back on the grass, maybe not in the way I wanted to do it, but it still was an opportunity to get back on the grass. So after weighing my options, I felt like it was a better opportunity to stay here rather than to get back on the grass in the capacity that was offered to me. So I turned that opportunity down to stay here with you guys and make this content on YouTube. So that's why, I'm pushing to get the subscribers, to get to a certain number, to get the second channel going, to make this worthwhile, to pass up that opportunity. So that I chose to stay here to do this content over than going back to the grass and doing that. So because this is kind of become my home, so to speak. And I like doing this. I love being on the grass, but this is kind of where it's at right now for me. And I've kind of grown to like this a lot more. And as much as I love being on the grass, and one day maybe I'll plan to go back, but I'm comfortable here right now with you guys. And I don't think if I may get an opportunity I can't pass up, but that wasn't the opportunity. That wasn't it. And so I just chose to stay here.
Everybody's still here, man. 160 people in here. The goal is to get Coach to 10,000 subscribers, right? I'm going to tell you why.
No, that was the goal.
10,000 subscribers represents the top 5% in YouTube. 95% of channels don't make it to 10,000 subscribers. All right. So he gets to 10,000. I mean, that pretty much that says that y'all rock with him. That means this is something that's viable for him. And he can, he's giving you a lot of content already. He's turning down some offers, some real life offers right now. Keep pushing him in that direction to where he can make it full time. Right. I know you guys are enjoying the content. He can give you more. We can all give you more, but you just got to keep supporting.
Yep.
All right.
That's exactly the number. I wasn't going to say it, but that's exactly the number. So that's what's going on there, and trying, being as transparent as I can, but that's what's going on. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I don't have any other announcements other than go follow More Sip the Tally 2, trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers. I think we right at about 650 somewhere around there. And we've picked up a few subs over the past couple of weeks. Let's just keep it going, man. And so got a video coming out probably about 7:00 in the morning. So y'all mess with that one. Patreons, you got that video coming out. Well, they got it already. The Patreons got the video already. The little snippet I put up there with Mark catching the ball, that was from the video that'll be out in the morning. And again, Patreons can look at it already. So that's all I got. Subscribe, like, comment, join the Patreon, all that stuff for all of us. And again, we try to give back. Everybody up here, we gonna give back. We just not gonna take. We're gonna give back because y'all take y'all time to support us. So that's what I appreciate y'all, man. And anybody got any closing words?
Support Chris's OnlyFans.
Yeah, bring your asses back next week.
Hey, we'll definitely see y'all. Hey, today was lit, man. Today was lit. And we're gonna keep turning up for y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Salute. Peace.